So this is the next question. What we are given is that x square is greater than y square, and we have to solve this. These questions might look a little complex, as soon as you see them, but just, spend 2 minutes, like not even 2 minutes, like 10, 20 seconds looking at them. You will realize that they're not very tough, right? So we have to compare mod of x inverse, y inverse, and then the whole inverse and xy, right? So this is just looking very complex if you actually solve it. So this is actually what you can write it as. So this is 1 upon, because this is inverse, right? So you can write it as 1 upon x inverse y inverse mod, right? You can write it like this. Okay, so this inverse sign gets removed and you can write it as 1 upon, because x inverse is basically 1 upon x, right? So this inverse will be 1 upon uh, this, right? I hope this is clear. Okay, so now again 1 upon, what you can write this as, this is basically mod of x inverse is 1 upon x into y inverse is 1 upon y, right? So you can write it as 1 upon mod of 1 upon xy. I hope this is clear, right? Now 1 upon, you can write it as mod of 1 upon mod of xy, right? Mod of 1 is nothing but 1, and this comes over here, so this becomes mod of xy. So this entire thing basically reduces down to mod of xy. I hope this should be clear, right? So what we can basically write this, so we can write this as mod of xy and xy. So this becomes a new question, that we have to compare this and we have to compare this. Okay, now coming on to the next thing, we are given x square is greater than y square, right? Whenever you have such a thing, you should always remember that if x square is greater than y square, then both possibilities are there, that x can be greater than y or x can be less than y. Both of these cases are possible. Uh, if you want to know how, just listen me out. For example, if x is equals to 4, y is equals to 3, right? So 4 square 16 is greater than 9, right? And in this case, x is greater than y. So this is fine. Okay. Now, for instance, if x is equals to minus 3, right? And y is equals to 2, right? X square is 9, minus 3 square is 9, is greater than y square, which is 4. Absolutely right. But in this case, x is less than y, because minus 3 is less than 2. So this is also possible, right? So what I mean is that if x square is greater than y square, so x can be greater than y also, and x can be less than y also. So these both are possibilities. So you should kind of remember this as a formula, that if x square is greater than y square, x greater than y, x less than y, both are possible. Okay. Now let's suppose we are given that x is greater than y square, right? So if this is one possibility, right? So maybe let's say x is greater than y. So let's suppose x is equals to 4, y can be minus 3, right? So because x is greater than y, right? So we took this. So 4 into minus 3 minus 12, mod of minus 12 will be 12, right? X into y is minus 12. X into y will be minus 12. So in this case, this is greater, right? Now, if we take this case, for example, uh, or even in the same case, for example, x is greater than y. Now, again, see my thinking, what I'm trying to think over here. For example, this answer is A, right? This is A because this part is greater. Now, what I want to do is that I want to think of a number such that I get B as the answer, or basically this part becomes bigger. I want to either this part becomes bigger or they become both equal to each other, right? So either A, B, or C, because if A, B, or C, if two things are there together, then the answer will be D, right? So what if I take both the numbers positive? For example, if x is equals to 5 and y is equals to 3, right? So this condition is satisfied because 25 is greater than 9. Even in this case, 16 was greater than 9, it's satisfied, right? But now if you see mod of xy, so mod of xy is mod of 15, which is 15, right? What is xy? Xy is 5 3s are 15. So in this case, these two things are equal. These two things are equal, which means your answer is C, right? So in one case, your answer is A. In the other case, your answer is C. So you cannot say anything. So your final answer becomes D. I hope this is clear. So in a lot of questions, what we are trying to do is that we take a number and we get one answer. It can be A, B, or C, whatever, right? Then in the other case, we try to take a number such that we contradict it. Either we make it less than 0, like either we make one part less than or greater than or equal, so that there are two solutions coming together, either A, B, or AC, or BC, whatever. Because if two things are together, then we can write D as the answer. So this is the approach to a lot of questions. So you should, take note of this. So the answer is D.